Currently, he is the Executive Director and Head of Corporate and Investment Banking at Stanbic Bank, Uganda. Emma Mugisha, as we know her to be, sweet lady, you know, before that, she was the bank's Head of Transaction and Corporate Services, Corporate and Investment Banking. Ms. Mugisha is a seasoned banker with expertise in commercial banking, product development and commercialization, as well as treasury management. She is a board member of Program Investment Committee. She holds a Bachelor of Arts in Social Work and Social Administration from Makerere University and a Master of Business Administration and General Management from the Rotterdam School of Management, Erasmus Graduate School of Business. She has over 15 years of banking. Emma, I mean, your CV intrigues me. I mean, somebody from social background, all the way does, you know, you move such a swift career transition. Before you go into your paper, I know you are going to address us on what we consider to be, what are the expectations of C-suite executives. You are now the Executive Director of Stanbic Bank Uganda. But Emma, with all due respect, can you give us a tip, you know, just a little bit about how did you transit? I mean, from social work, so this, my goodness, please, over to you, Emma.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Thank you for inviting me. It's my pleasure to be here. And interesting. So my journey started about 23 years ago. So I've been in the financial sector for that long. I always knew I wanted to be a banker because I had an auntie who knew how to count money. She actually was a teller with the stand chart. But at that time, she looked so cool in the way she counted money. So that's why initially I wanted to be a banker.
Interesting. That
changed over time. And yes, so I did move from, I did do social work, but ended up doing banking. So for today's topic, I feel like Mr. Zake has done a good job. I still call him Mr. Zake because at one point he interviewed me for a job. But I didn't join StanChat at that time. And he's done a great job on what to expect. And what maybe I will do is to say what is the expectation of the person interviewing you so that you can go into that interview with the right mindset. Many of us who are leaders spend, or most of us who work actually, spend the biggest part of our productive life at work. So you want to have, you create a family at work. You create a work environment that becomes your second family. So even as you are recruiting somebody, as somebody is coming to join that team, you're looking for someone who fits into this family. If you want to call it a tribe, call it a tribe. So you're looking for the next kinsman into your tribe. If you want to call it a kingdom, call it a kingdom. You're looking for the next member of your kingdom. So you're looking for someone who's going to fit into the work environment, but you're also looking for someone you can depend on, someone that is going to help you to meet what the expectation of the organization. So how do you then portray yourself to this person that is recruiting for their tribe? How do you figure out how you become a tribesmate in that company? Yeah. So those are the expectations that I'm going to talk about today. A lot has been covered in our previous speech. We'll give it a twist in terms of practically what you can do then to reveal your true self so that the person who is actually interviewing can connect with you and be able to invite you into their organization. Age is catching up a bit, so I'll put on my specs. So the skills are the first thing that we are looking for. In any organization, when there is a vacancy, that means there's a gap. There's need for somebody to come and fill a certain gap. So we're looking for a certain skill set, yeah? That skill set could be held by 1 million people, but you're looking for that one person with that skill set that is going to fit into this organization and give you, and fill that gap that you have. So we're looking for your education, your technical ability, but we're also looking for experience We're looking for the right attitude, because you may have the skills, but your attitude may not fit with the culture of the organization you're looking for. We're looking for a culture fit. And during that interview process, as Herbert has taken us through, we're trying to test the fit of you who's coming to join us, and to see whether you'll be able to fit in that gap that we have. We're looking for commitment, because again, I've got a job to do. I don't do that job myself, I do it through people. So I'm looking for someone who's going to be committed, and someone who's going to be hardworking and be able to deliver, so that I can also deliver on the other hand. We've got shareholders, they have an expectation on the organization, and we have to deliver this expectation through the people that we hire or the people that we work with. So are you passionate about things? So you may not be able in the interview to talk about what you're passionate about, but you may be asked, what else do you like to do? And then you get into this passionate conversation about football, and that passionate conversation about football will reveal how passionate you are about the things that you like, and how willing you are to then talk about them with that, energy. Because if you're then passionate about the product that we do, then you'll be able to sell it if you can sell your football story to me. So when you're asked about, give examples where you've been passionate about something, look for something you're truly passionate about, so that that passion can actually come forth, and it is authentic. I can feel and touch it even from the way that you express yourself. So I'm looking for someone who's honest, who's dependable, someone who has grit. When I say grit, what do I mean? Persistence and being able to be determined even through the tough times. So I work in a bank, and sometimes the bank is actually a real pressure cooker. It gets quite tense. So I'm looking for someone who can remain calm and collected even during tense time. So I may ask you that, give me an example of a time when you really felt on pressure, and how did you navigate that time? So that example that you give, again, let it be an authentic example. It may not be a work example. It may be a home example, but as long as it reflects the grit that I'm looking for, or the determination and persistence that I'm looking for, then that will come through authentically. On the skill side, we're looking for very good communication and verbal skills. So let's start with your CV. If your CV has typos, if your CV is not properly aligned in the way that you've presented it, if you can't sell yourself on your communication skills with the first piece of paper that announces you, then I'm going to lose confidence in you already, even before I meet you. So if you are looking for a job, go back to your CV, have a look at that CV. What is the level of excellence you put in your CV, in the presentation of yourself on your CV? Just look at the typing and the spelling. Make sure there's not even one spelling mistake. There's some people whose minds are attuned to pick up the first spelling mistake that you make. Okay, you can't put it through spell check in Word. Word will do it for you, You cannot announce yourself. The first thing that announces you, which is your CV, and it doesn't have that sense of excellence. Then I will lose confidence in you even before I meet you, because I'm thinking, if you can't care about the thing that announces you, how are you going to care about putting out a document that announces the organization? So before you sell anything, sell yourself. So that your CV is your first point of excellence, and it will show your communication skills, it will show your presentation skills, and it will show your written skills. If you're asked to write a cover letter, don't just go onto the internet, download cover letter, fill in a few things, and probably even has an industry, a different industry from what you're applying for. Actually take time. I'm not saying don't copy from best practice, please do so. That's also important. But take the time to be meticulous in your presentation and in your preparation, so that you can show that presentation, those skills to your potential employer. Verbal skills are also very important, and we have to learn how to speak up, to speak confidently. If you're coming to sell yourself, you have to be confident about yourself. If you can't be confident in you, why should I be confident in you? Why should I trust you with the bank's money? Why should I trust you with my depositor's money? So I need to see the confidence that you come with in whatever question you're being asked. Sometimes you're asked a question, not so much to hear what you're saying, but how you're saying it and what it is reflecting. Is it reflecting that confidence? Is it reflecting your authenticity? Is it showing honesty? Is it showing, your ability to quickly think back to a situation and to be able to relate it to the current view? We're looking for teamwork. Are you able to work as part of a team? Or even as you're given a role, are you able to do it by yourself? Or are you going to be looking for consistent guidance? So there's teamwork, but there's also the capability to work by yourself. Herbert talked about preparation, and preparation is very key because you should identify the gap that I'm trying to fill and tailor your examples and your preparation for the interview with that gap in mind. So if the advert says we're looking for a business manager, have you found out what does a business manager in a bank do? What does a business manager in the organization, the specific organization that I'm looking for, do? Do you have that uncle who did banking or who's doing banking, or that friend or that colleague who was in your school before? Find that person and ask questions and get prepared so that, again, you will be able to show more. You'll have an edge over someone else who wasn't prepared. For example, if you're two candidates with exactly the same skill set, but you are prepared, you will have an edge over the other candidate. In the new normal, we're talking about utilizing internet, utilizing, all of us are trying to sell online. We're looking at all these trends in the new world about data, utilizing data security, and Internet of Things, artificial intelligence. Now there's even a robot that can interview you. Herbert has just told us. How up to date are you with these new trends, and how are they relevant to whichever organization that you're trying to interview for? And there's so much information on the net. Every time I'm in my car, I will look for a TED Talk. I'll look for a video or an audio on a particular topic that I'm interested in. And instead of listening to some news or music, I will just be listening to these things, and I learn a lot. And these are available for each one of you. Again, our young people like to spend time on Facebook and on Twitter and on Instagram, but there's a lot more on the internet that you can learn and that will help you prepare for the new world that is here with the new trend. So there's so much information, there's so many skills you can pick up. During COVID, we saw quite a lot of very interesting courses from the different universities like Harvard that were free, because you could go online and sign up for these courses and do them. Imagine if you did one of those courses and you were able to give that example in an interview. That immediately will give you an edge, because you are keeping yourself abreast with what's happening in the new world. So you need to be able to demonstrate those skills and to seek out ways to show why you are a better candidate than other candidates. We need to know why you stick out and why you are the right candidate to take the role. The other thing that I'd like us to think about would be, are you able to solve problems? For example, banking is a lifelong industry and probably becoming extinct as well. Imagine if you can think through a product or a new way of doing things that the bank would need. And as you come to that interview, also coming with an idea of creating value or of being able to enhance an existing product, such that from the beginning, I can see you as a problem solver and also someone who can create value. That immediately gives you an edge and helps you to stand out as the right candidate and to stand out of the crowd. So in conclusion, any person in leadership in an organization is looking for somebody who will fit culturally, somebody who will have the right skills, somebody who will have a sense of excellence, somebody they can trust and they can know that they will be able to deliver exactly what we need. Or they have the potential to learn, because an industry like banking is not something that you learn in class. Even if you did a banking course in class, I did social work and I've done banking all my life. So as long as you show that you have the potential and the hunger to learn, that potential could be what the organization is looking for. So we're looking to connect, we're looking to find somebody we can trust. So how do you, the way you say the things that you do, the way you dress, like Mr. Zake said, if you come sloppily dressed for a banking role, you're probably, the door has closed even before you enter, because you're going to be a brand representative of this organization. So the way you speak, the way you, your confidence and the way you reflect yourself is what is going to get through that door. Thank you very much for this opportunity, and I hope I've been able to give you a sneak peek into the mind of the C-suite executive, and that will help you in your next role. Thank you very much.